My name is Yoali Roque, and today I will be doing a speech critique on Nora Ephron's 1996 Wellesley Commencement speech. Some background on this speech is that Nora Ephron is a 1962 alumni that addressed the all-women graduating class of 1996. Wellesley is a private women's college in Massachusetts, and the founders of the school were firm believers in an education opportunity for women, and it's also part of the Seven Sister Colleges. Nora was an American journalist, writer, and filmmaker. One of her bigger achievements is that she won the BAFTA Award for Best Original Screenplay for 1989's film When Harry Met Sally. In her early career, however, I think this is what really distinguished her as a leader. She applied for a writer's position at Newsweek, but had to settle for a male girl position because Newsweek didn't hire women writers at that time. After she quit Newsweek, she then participated in a class action lawsuit in 1970 against the magazine for sexual discrimination. It was also with 60 other female employees, and eventually the women won and Newsweek agreed to allow for women reporters. The purpose of this speech was to empower and encourage women. She used anecdotes, rhetoric, and her human skills to successfully get her main points through to the audience and persuade them to follow and choose the life that they desire despite the much antagonism towards women, and to fight for what they believe in or what they want on behalf of women. Some of the issues that she addressed in the speech were feminism and identity, becoming the heroine of your own life and not the victim, and not to delude yourself into fitting into this mold that society has brought you to think is what you should be doing, and to understand that it is okay to change your mind and start over and change your path. She also touched up on the topic of reproductive rights, remembering that any move that limits abortion rights is an attack on women, whether you believe in abortion or not. She quotes, "American society has a remarkable ability to resist change and take whatever change that has taken place and attempt to make it go away." Also addressed sexism and how there is still a glass ceiling for women. The pay differential between men and women has barely changed, and that is still relevant today. She says, "Don't underestimate how much antagonism there is towards women and how many people wish we could turn the clock back." She also mentioned the women's movement, the liberation movement of the 60s and the 70s, and how the contrast between how this movement has benefited the class of 1996 compared to her class, her graduating class, because it gave them equal opportunities and personal freedom. She organized a speech by comparing her years at the Wellesley College to the graduating class, and the speech does feel like a journey from the past to the present, and she connected these comparisons to her issues and claims, how different and how similar yet the class decades are. The speech flows in a very conversational style, and her pace is very easy to follow. She uses a lot of repetition of certain words and phrases that grab the audience's attention. So how she adapted the delivery to the Wellesley Women's College was through sarcasm and jokes. It created this relativity and bond with the audience. The delivery helps the women that are listening feel connected by resonating with those witty and really raw experiences. For example, this delivery shows her human skills and her people skills. According to our textbook, The Leadership Theory and Practice, these skills create a trustworthy and comfortable atmosphere for them. And she's also aware of her own perspectives and aware of other alumni and students at Wellesley College's perspectives. Her humor captivates the audience and grabs their attention, but also leads them into her main issues that she highlights in her speech. For example, there was a moment where she mentioned the Wonder Bra. She mentions how the 1996 class was the graduating class of the year of the Wonder Bra. And she says, "It is not a step forward for women. Anything that hurts that much is not a step forward for women." She also uses metaphors and cliches. For example, Many of us have heard, be a lady, don't take it personally. Instead, she says, listen to what is going on in the world and take it personally. These spins on these cliches really drive her point to the audience. And according to Aristotle's modes of persuasion, she uses a lot of pathos and ethos throughout her speech. The speech invokes emotions like frustration, anger, hopefulness, desire, sadness, and recalling stories and personal experiences as a woman and experiences as a woman in Wellesley make her credible and trustworthy. Ephron's evidence that supports her main points are her anecdotes. Anecdotes and personal stories are the evidence that helps the audience engage and make these ideas stick. It inspires action and creates emotionally engaging evidence. According to the book Advanced Public Speaking by Lynn Mead, stories are the secret ingredient to making speeches memorable. And it's true, we remember speeches by the stories that the speaker tells. A specific story that impacted the speech for me was when she mentioned the Tunicata article. So it was a mean article by the Harvard Crimson filled with very snippy stereotypes about the sister schools. The Crimson had said that Wellesley was a school for Tunicata. Tunicata is a small fish that spends the first part of its life swimming frantically in its environment, and then the second part just lying on the floor breeding. And she mentions that at a 25th reunion, when a classmate mentioned the article, everyone remembered what Tunicata was. Thank you for listening to my speech critique presentation. I will add the link to her speech in the description below. I definitely recommend it, so I hope you check it out. Thank you.